Hello, everybody. This is Howard, the Teaserking, coming to you with Week 8 of the NFL. And Teaserking has been on fire in the pros and in college. But in the pros, 9-2 2 weeks ago, 7-1 last week. And that includes hitting multiple team teasers. I'll refresh this. I did talk about this in my college video, but I will talk about it in case you don't look at the college and you're just interested in the pros. I put teams in multiple teasers. Last week I had New Orleans in 8.5 at 2 or 3 teasers. I had Dallas in 7.5 in multiple teasers. I had the Rams over multiple teasers. I had San Diego a half in 1 teaser. That was about it. So, and I had the Kansas City over in multiple teasers. So if you want to just, you don't want to bet 6 teasers, look at the multiple teaser ones. Or maybe you bet the 6 small and bet the multiple ones. So in other words, if I put Kansas City in 2 or 3 teasers, and New Orleans in 2 or 3 teasers, and Dallas in 2 or 3 teasers, then play a 3-team teaser and or play maybe New Orleans, Kansas City over. Maybe you play Dallas with the Rams over. Maybe you do that so you can say, well, this is it. It's because I love the team. I play them in multiple team teasers because that's how you win betting teasers. You find the team. You find New Orleans getting points from Baltimore, Dallas getting points from Washington, Kansas City over, and you go, these are great picks. So you want to bet them more than once. And I bet them more than once because, if Kansas City over 45 is a good pick and they score 55 in the game, then why wouldn't you want to bet it in another teaser if you really like it a lot? In the beginning, it's hard because you're learning how good's Mahomes, how good is these teams, how you got new coaches, you got new quarterbacks. But once now the season's going and you have a lot more data, and I'm very good at analyzing the players. Once I know, okay, this is Mahomes, they're going to score. There's no way Cincinnati's going to hold them because Cincinnati doesn't have a defense. So once you realize that, then you're really, now I can pound it. And when you found a New Orleans dog going with it, it's beautiful. Dallas starting to play better. The receivers are getting open more. So you start playing them. How good's Washington? So that's what you start looking at. And that's what so that's why I play the multiple team teasers. So in fact, I can actually zero in and then win 2 or 3 teasers with 2 teams. I can win 3 or 4 teasers. That's what I'm looking for. Instead of playing the whole board and then you're playing these lesser teams and you're trying to figure out, I'm going to bet against Josh Rosen. I'm going to bet against Josh Allen. I'm going to bet against Darnell. I mean, this way you say, okay, these guys really suck. I'm betting against them, but I don't want to lock against them, and I don't, I got to see these other. I want to bet on the stars and against the weak guys. So anyway, so I've been red hot. This week promises to be the biggest week of the year so far, and hopefully the following weeks will be as strong because now that we've figured out everything, I got a really good grasp on who to take. So 3 locks going in the pros, as well as 1, 2, 3 very strong games, and possibly 4 we're winning on a line. That's what we're looking for, and we'll put them in multiple teamers. So when you're betting me, just if you see a team in 1 teaser, I like it. If you see a team in 2, usually I don't go more than 2 teasers, but that's where you'll get the bigger, the 15, the 20 unit. The 20 unit is like, I love this team and this team. I found 2 teams I love. Okay, let's play them in another teaser. And I go, well, no, I already found who I want to play them with. So I'm going to double bet it is kind of what I'm doing. So it might be an 11 unit, but because I love it so much and I would play them in multiple teasers, but I've already got the 2 teams I want. That's when it becomes a 20 or 25 team teaser. because I go, I love these two teams. Here I go. Sometimes I just love the one team, and the lock's maybe 11 or a smaller unit because I got the one, but I don't love the second team. But I got the lock team. So here I got 6 locks going. I got 3 college, 3 pro, which I love strongly, and huge trends on the one lock, the second lock, and the third lock are very strong trends. And then the other trends on the other games, which I don't even lock. So let's go to KC and Denver. KC's laying 10. KC came from behind to win at Denver. Let's look at head-to-head. The dog is 6-1 in the series. Denver is 6-1 in Kansas City. Kansas City's 4-1 as the favorite. But the thing here's where you scramble the stats. Because it was Alex Smith and not Mahomes, you have to kind of throw away some of this. It does say Denver plays well in Kansas City, but with Mahomes, you almost are starting new trends there. So let's take a look. Kansas City -4. So let's look at it. Let's break it down. The Teaserking method. Kansas City scores 37 a game, only gives up 26. And that's getting better, and they've had injuries. They throw for 317 a game, run for 124, a total of 441, and they can score a touchdown in 5 seconds. Ask New England that one. So they don't have the injuries to the wide receivers or anybody like that, just Eric Berry, who's always injured. So look for them to be explosive. So then we look for Denver. Denver's all the way down at 24 a game, but they give up 23. And that's my key. By giving up 23 a game, I know their defense is, and I know they're much stronger at home than they are on the road. So they give up 23. KC scored 27 on them last time, and when they needed it, won. So I know KC's going to score a lot because Denver, let's look at the best defense. The best defense is Baltimore, gives up 14 a game. And then what? Tennessee at 18, Dallas at 18, the Rams at 18. So that's where I'm, Baltimore is a 14. And they'd probably still put 30 up on Baltimore. Look at what New Orleans put up 24. So that's my point. Denver's defense won't be able to really shut them down, and I don't think there's any defense that can. Case Keenum throws for 268 a game. They run for about $125, 393. They don't really have the offense. It's a good offense. Anything over looks like 375. I look at it as a very strong offense. The worst offense in the league is, of course, Arizona at 238, and then Buffalo at 260, which, by the way, correlates to why they're the worst teams in the league. Their quarterbacks basically stink. Josh Allen's the worst, and then Josh Rosen. But, it's not his fault. Neither of them should be playing. They should be learning the first year, maybe getting in a game near the end of the year, just to get the speed down to get ready for next year like Mahomes did. That's what you do. To throw them in and say sink or swim is just the dumbest thing you can possibly do. It's a terrible thing at work. It's a terrible thing in sports. You got to let the guy get used to it. And look at Trubisky this year from last year. All of them. Goff, his first year sucked. Last year he still kind of sucked. This year he's getting better. Mahomes sat most of the year, played the game. So that's what you're looking for. Or let them get used to the speed. Let them get used to the pro game. It's so different than college. And I hate when these quarterbacks run like what are you doing? I'm watching Josh Allen. He can't throw a ball, so he runs around, when he gains 20. Or Bradford, or what's his name? Mayfield. And, these guys are running. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Bortles, Mariota. Mariota's the worst quarterback in the league. He looks to run. He fades back, tries to run. He's the worst. They got 300 yards a game. He throws for 192, Mariota. That guy, oh my God, how is he your quarterback? Unbelievable. Anyway, so when you look at it, you're like, Kansas City's is at home. They're not going to worry about the crowd noise. Denver doesn't have Mile High. So that's what you have. When we get down to the quarterback, of course, Mahomes, 22 touchdowns, 5 picks, 318 yards per game, and he's been sacked only 9 times, and he's very mobile. And let's take a look at Case Keenum. The Caser, he throws for 264 a game. But here's the problem. He's got 8 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. And this is why Denver is not a very good team right now. Yeah, they got Chubb and they got Miller, but that's it. They don't. So if you run on them, if you run at the defensive end, it's going to tire them out. They're good against passing teams, but Kansas City showed you they had trouble with them in the first game, but then did it. Then at the end they came on, they got tired. So in Kansas City, he's not going to have the altitude to help him. Case Keenum's been sacked 17 times for 117 yards. So Mahomes gets sacked 9 times. This guy gets sacked 17. You can see the difference. Let's look at the running attack. Kansas City's got Kareem Hunt, who gets 77 yards a game. It's pathetic how they use the running backs now. You always had these 12, 13, 1,400 yard guys, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas. Here you got Kareem Hunt, 542 yards after 7 games. It's embarrassing, but they got 118 touches. Todd Gurley leads the way at 686, and Elliott's second at 619 with 88 yards a game. I look at it more yards per game because some players haven't played that as many games, so you can't look at total yards. Let's look at Denver's running back. Phillip Lindsay, 62 yards a game. And I thought they had the other. Royce Freeman, 44 yards a game. So nothing really spectacular there. It's not like Kamara and Ingram at New Orleans. And with Drew Brees, it makes it even more. With Case Keenum, you can take the run away and make him pass to beat you. So let's go into the numbers. In 2018, KC, here's what I love. KC is 7-0 in a teaser, 3-0 as a home favorite, and this is why you got to throw out some of the KC Denver head-to-head, because now it's not Alex Smith managing the game, barely winning, allowing Denver to cover. It's Mahomes throwing 35 points a game, and you can't bet against him. You bet against them, you're 3-4. Denver, on the other hand, as a road dog, 0-2. 5-2 versus the number, but against Denver, 2-0 as a road dog, against 6-1 betting against. So you have 7-0 Kansas City. So if you put them in a teaser every week, you win every week. Denver, if you bet against in a teaser, you win 6, and you're 6-1. Their only loss was last week against Arizona, and Rosen gave them 3 pick sixes, which you're not going to get from Mahomes. Let's go. That's this year. Let's go 17-18. Denver road dog 2-4. Bet against 6-0. If you bet on Denver, you're 13-10. If you bet against Denver, 17 in the first 7 weeks here, you're 19-4. You're 83% betting against Denver. 6-0 as a road dog, 7-0 as a home favorite. They just don't have the offense to blow you away. So if they're laying any points, they're not going to do anything. And as a dog, that means the team's better, and they can't compete because they don't have the quarterback. Kansas City. Now here's where it gets tricky because Mahomes, this is his first year. So now they go 8-3 as a home favorite. 18-6 overall, 8-3 against as a home favorite, 14-10. So it's hard to use the Alex Smith trend. So you got to look at this year's KC 7-0 and Denver over 2 years is 19-4 bet against, 6-0 is a road dog. And if we go to 16, it's just strictly for Denver. Here you go, Denver 10-1 bet against as a road dog. So when they're the road dog, take the home favorite. You're 10-1, 91%. KC's respectable, even with Alex Smith, 15-5. If you bet them, 15-5, go against. And let's see, that's about it. It's hard to go back further, but that's what you're looking for. So you have Mahomes, 37 points a game. Hard to believe they're going to lose. The spread's a little high. If the spread was something I could get under a field goal, I would lock this game, but I can't. I hate locking a 4 in the pros. So 10 minus the 6 is 4. Even if you do a 7-point teaser is 3. If you can get your hands on a 10-point teaser, which I got my hands on last week, then you can take it even. It's a lock. But your odds, the reason people ask me all the time, well, should I play a 6-point teaser or the 10-point teaser? Well, first of all, the over-unders in the 10-point teaser are 6 points. They're not 10. Secondly, the odds are a lot lower. You got to pick more games with the 10-point. Now, it's easier to pick more. With the 10 points, you find, a 13 goes down to 2.5 or 12-2. That makes it a bet, but laying 6 or 7 doesn't. So, yeah, but the problem is the odds are weak. As you can see from my 20-team teaser, I had the Jets plus, what it was, the Jets were plus 13.5 to Minnesota, and Minnesota decides to play. So that's where you are. Now, on that note, you're starting to get a better feel on these teams. So the first place, Kansas City -4. Hopefully, I don't think it is going to go down. But again, in a regular bet, it might not go to 10.5 because they don't want to push it to 10.5. So you can lay the 4. So keep in mind you have the regular spread and then the teaser spread, and most of the time they're adopting to the regular spread, not the teaser spread. And again, betting the teaser is such a huge advantage. That's why the odds are 12-10. However, the college teaser is even money at William Hill. So keep that in mind in Vegas. Go to William Hill for your college teasers. There's no freaking juice, and you can't now give me any excuse to say, oh, I don't want to bet a teaser. I want to bet it straight. You're gonna lay either 11 or 12-10 on a straight bet at William Hill, and you can bet even money on a teaser and gain the 6-point edge. And that's just walking up to the counter, seeing the line going, hey, it's -7, I'll go -1. And by the way, the odds on hitting a -1 versus a -7 are huge in your favor. And it's not hard to find a second team. So keep that in mind. Also, we're starting to find the trends better. Now we know Mahomes scores 37 a game. New Orleans we knew. The Rams, yeah, they're the super team. They're the best team. We now see Trubisky with Chicago. He looks good. They're scoring 28 a game. The Chargers we know. Tampa, terrible defense. Atlanta got a little better offensively. Terrible defense. Luck's back. He's averaging 27. We're seeing Patricia on the Lions. They're 26 points offense defense. We're seeing Minnesota now with Cousins. He's starting to get it. Let's take a quick look at his numbers. Kirk Cousins, Minnesota, 14 touchdowns, 3 picks, 309 yards per game, and 9 sacks. So they're not running the ball with Cook, but now we see Cousins getting used to the receivers, getting used to the offense, where in the beginning he lost to Buffalo. Now if he plays Buffalo, he ain't losing to Buffalo. They just waxed the Jets, which I didn't think they would do in New York. And so now we're getting a flavor for them. I would say it'd probably be a pretty high-scoring game, Minnesota-New Orleans, because I don't think Minnesota's defense is what it was last year, and I don't think it's as good. They give up 24 a game. Last year they were under 20. And again, in the NFL, I'm looking for that real strong defense, and I don't see, I don't see it. The best team's the Rams. They score 34 a game and only give up 18, and they cover, and now they know how to win, and I love them. I've been locking them right and left, and they're just it's a perfect. They run Gurley. It's beautiful to see the running game. They got strong defense, even though they lost the Hakeem Talib. They're still a good secondary. So you have all that going. So Philadelphia, now you're realizing they're not that good. They've only scored 22 a game. They give up 20. Their defense isn't as strong. Their offense isn't as strong. Wentz is probably still hurt. Probably takes a year and a half to get over that injury. Houston, same thing. They're not as strong offensively. He's just not over his injury, Watson. Denver with Keenum, you're getting used to. You know Russell Wilson. You know Rod Rodgers. I love that K and P. Flacco's a little bit better, 25 a game. Like I said, so you're learning. Bortles, we know, sucks. Mariota's terrible. Rosen, he'd be better off at UCLA. Josh Allen stinks. Shouldn't even be in the league. Carr, I don't know what's going on in Oakland. They're terrible. I think Gruden's letting the players go, so it's not his fault. So he's going to blame, well, we're rebuilding now. Well, Oakland was a playoff team 2 years ago when Carr got hurt. Now he's let Connor Cook go. I think he's going to trade Carr. He's let the receiver go. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know if Gruden knows any. I mean, it's almost like let's bet against Oakland every week. The Giants, offensive line problems. Dallas is starting to get, now that they got the guy from Oakland, Amari Cooper, sorry. So now that they have Amari Cooper and they're starting to hit their offense, the other receivers are picking it up. Elliott's healthy. Their defense is sound, giving up 18 a game. So look for Dallas. And I've been betting Dallas a lot. I had them last week against Washington. Cleveland, it's just Cleveland. I mean, they score 22 a game, so their offense is up a little more with Mayfield, but their defense, they give up 25 a game. They got some key injuries to a linebacker and a secondary guy. So I just look at Cleveland. Again, it's the coach is terrible. They throw for 250 a game, but they only run for 135, so 385. So it's not bad offensively. Defensively, they're weak. They need to get better. And that's kind of what's keeping them. So it's always the teams with the strong defense. Now, I can't just blanket it because Jacksonville and Tennessee have no offense. It's combination teams that can score and have a fairly good defense. The Chargers 28-23, Kansas City 37-26, New Orleans 34-27. The first number is the offensive points per game. The second number is so even though New Orleans scores 34 and they give up 27, they know how to win. They got the quarterback, they got the coach, and even though they give up points, they still can score. In a tight game last week with Baltimore, they got the W. So that's what I mean by it. New England 31, they give up 26. Pittsburgh, terrible defense but a strong offense. So those are the teams you win with. Are the good quarterback, they can score. That's why when I read you the touchdowns and interceptions, I go, this guy's only got 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He's not scoring for you. You can't win if you don't score. I want the guy with 12 touchdowns and 1 interception. He doesn't turn the ball over, so he's not putting the defense at risk, and he scores a lot. That's what you want. So anyway, after all that, Kansas City -4 is the teaser play. I have 3 locks going in the pros, and Kansas City's not one of them. It would be one if the spread dropped to 8. It would be a lock. Like I quoted a couple weeks ago, If Cleveland went favorite over San Diego, I'm locking San Diego. Cleveland became a 1-point favorite, and I hammered San Diego. That's why you're looking. Now, I don't know if people are used to a different handicapper than me. I am very active. If I see a spread change Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, I'm adding it. I'm not one of these guys that throws out the picks on Wednesday and goes to sleep and you can't contact them. And there it is, whatever the line is on Wednesday, that's what you get. And by the way, you get one game for $35. I am not like that. I am very, if I lose, well, like Army. I had Army last week with Buffalo. That was my lock. Then I played Army again with, I think, with New Orleans. So Army loses. Well, I still love New Orleans. So then I played a Dallas-New Orleans teaser on Sunday. And I think I added Fresno State late with somebody, So I'm very, if I like, I'm picking games. I'm not really picking teasers. I'm looking at the game going, is it teaser worthy? Yeah, here's a 7 down to 1. Yeah, Kansas City at 10 I wouldn't touch. Laying 4, I think they'll win by a touchdown. I don't like Denver as much on the road. Mahomes is going to score. I don't see how they won't win by 4. It's a terrible line to tease. You like to get under 3, and I've been burnt by 10s going down to 4 a lot. So I won't lock a 10 down to a 4, but it's still worth playing. But, let's say, let's pick a 1 o'clock game. Well, that should be a 1 o'clock game, Denver KC. So if that game, well, I don't want to say that. Let's say I play Philly Jacksonville. I don't like to jinx myself. Philly Jacksonville. So let's say I take the under in the game, and I love it with Frisco getting 7 from Arizona, and it loses. Well, I still like Frisco, so I'm going to play them with, maybe the Ram over, maybe the Minnesota over, maybe New England. So, again, if I like 2 teams and the first team loses, I still like the second team. So just pick one of my later picks with it because that's what I'm going to do. So I am very interactive. I will go on the site, and I don't know if everybody understands that or realizes that, because you might look at my games Friday night, not go back, and then you look at the results, you're going, well, you didn't have that on there. Yeah, because I added it Saturday morning because the line changed, or I added it Saturday during the day because I lost the first game and I want to bet the night game, and then I'll add a night game to it. Like Hawaii over, I gave everybody. They covered, but I had them with somebody early and the team lost, so then I added Hawaii as a night game. No, I think it was with New Orleans. I think I had Army New Orleans, so I then played Hawaii over with New Orleans, even though I'd already played Hawaii over with another game because I liked Hawaii. So then it became, well, now I need another New Orleans bet because I only got one, but I love them as a dog, so therefore I'm going to play them again. So keep that in mind. I'm not your normal, I'll post 2-3 games and see you later. I get emails with comments all the time going, who do you like here? Who do you like here? Who do you like there? Let's play a 5-team teaser. Whatever. And that's, kind of what I do. And I'm watching the games and I'm watching the line the whole day. Saturday morning I'll wake up. Like I said in my other one, Army at 11 o'clock was laying 7.5. At 11:30 it was down to 6.5. And the quarterback all of a sudden is out when he was playing the whole week. So that's my point. So you got to be very careful on that to notice line movements. So I'll try not to post it too late. I don't really want to go much past 12:15 on Sunday. I know people got things to do, and I know you want to get your bets in, and you don't want to be 5 to 1. Oh, Teaserking just put a pick up. So usually I know now what I want to do. If all of a sudden KC goes down to 8, which it ain't going to do unless Mahomes gets hurt, which he better not, then that would be a difference. But if it's a normal thing, I know the way the lines are going to go. I'll put it in, by Friday night, I've got my pick in. And unless I hear of an injury that happens, that game, then I can offset it. But basically, that's what I'm doing. So anyway, www.teaserking.com. You could play a huge 16 teaser for some big money this week with my 6 locks. And like I said, I hit a 9-team teaser last week and went 18-2 on a 20-team teaser last week. It's just so focused that I'm like, it's just, oh yeah, it's an easy one because I've got it now. I've added my third method, and my first method is always good. That was always the team and their home dog or bet against home dog or home favorite or whatever, and the head-to-head. But now I've added these points, and what it's done is I'm seeing the weak defenses, and when I get a KC playing a weak defense, I'm hammering it. Like Cincinnati last week, I played the over. So I'm looking at that. I'd rather play the teams more than the over-unders usually if I can. But if I just see 2 hot quarterbacks with 2 weak defenses, I'm going to play the over in the game, depending on the number if I can. All right, everybody. www.teaserking.com. I look forward to this huge weekend. 6 locks. I think it's a 20-star, couple of 15-star locks, and they're in multiple teasers. So this is the week. All right, everybody. Have a great week, and good luck to everybody.